Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at the drummer in GarageBand. Yes. Okay, so I wanted to do this only because I've just used GarageBand quite a lot in the album that me and Colin are working on, the next album that we're working on. It's not out yet. It won't be out for a bit. But programming with the drummer is very nice. I wanted for this particular track. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play bits of this, not all of it, because it's the full length of a song, you know. Then I'm going to actually play you some of the track from the next album that's not out yet that uses this drum pattern all the way through. And then I'm going to also come back to GarageBand and show you how to set up the same kind of thing using the drummer, which is very, very versatile. And you can get it to do all kinds of cool stuff, you know. It's so easy to use as well and so fast and sounds great. So for this, I kind of wanted, you'll see that if I select any part of this, pieces of this screen will change as it goes along, you see. But you'll notice that I have kept the same preset here, which is called 3 rings, all the way through. Now I'll explain why I did that. I wanted to feel this kind of pattern here. I wanted it to be kind of John Bonham-ish, you know. I mean, you're never gonna recreate John Bonham, are you? But you know, the feel, you know, that he was such a good drummer because he made everything feel loose, you know, like it was easy, like he wasn't even trying, you know. So you'll notice when it tracks to the end of this particular section, it will jump into its next bit, which has just had a few more fills added. Then more complex, very simple. And I think for the next part it was just adding more hi-hats. Right, so you get the idea. And then there was this middle 8 bit here, which was all kind of toms. And actually, on the GarageBand track itself, there's nothing else there, and there was no nothing added extra EQ wise or effect wise. All I wanted was the drum track. Now, I did it in certain sections. You can see I went all the way up to H. But you could just set one big section and chop it up. I want to show you that anyway. Let me give you the practical example of it being used in the track. So here is the track. So you can see that there's quite a lot going on. I'm going to play some of it. And then, but this is that actual drum pattern. In fact, if we go into the mixer here, this hasn't been mixed yet or mastered or anything like that. So, you know, I'll just solo out the drums and go to where they start ish. So some effects have now been applied inside Cubase, Sys. Waves audio track, bit of studio and a little bit of reverb. Without them, it's pretty much what it was in GarageBand, but a lot quieter. Okay, so it still needs to be mixed properly as well, by the way, just because it's clipping still. But anyway, I need to bring everything else down. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I'm going to do is play the track complete with the I've done that, haven't I? The drums, and then you can kind of hear how it fits in. So what I did is I had basic idea for the piece of music, and then I went into GarageBand and set up the drums to suit what I had, and then come back in here and then started to record over the drum pattern, if you know what I mean. And then I sent the bits over to Colin and he added bits and pieces. So I think pretty much this is complete, just not mixed. Anyway, I'm going to play some of this, okay? I played all. So you can skip it if you want to, but it gives you an idea of how the track, the drums fit into the track and sound nice within the song, you know? So it's a pretty good approximation of a real drummer. That's the point. That was the point with this, because it needs to sound, basically because it's progressive rock as well, it's nice to have it sound like a real drummer, you know. And we've done a lot of that on this album. A lot of work went into the drums. Anyway, so that's that. Now you've heard this particular piece in context with the actual piece of music it was intended for. So it was written like this. Okay, so let's go and create a new song, and we'll start with the drummer acoustic. Okie dokie. So now all we need to do, what it'll do is, once you've created the drummer and in the new song, it starts you off with this. Okay, and it'll go over 8 bars. So for the start off, let's make section A, let's make it 16. Okay. So now we have 16 bars of the same thing. So, you know, there's no thing. But I would like it to, after 4 bars here, so this, I would like the drums to start to change and progress. And it's so easy to do that in GarageBand with the, do you know what, I don't know, is it Garage, is it Garage? What we do is we need to double tap this and choose split, making sure that our cursor is at the point where we want to split the pattern. And then it'll give this little scissor icon and you just drag down like that and it splits it into the various sections like this. And what we shall do as well is we shall go another 4 bars and I shall choose this and we shall split that there, drag down. So now we have 4 sections of 4 bars each. So in this first section, and then we'll leave it on Kyle, but if you can choose another drummer, I used Logan, and there's if you want like hard rock, that was classic rock, the kind of John Bonham feel that you want, you know, and the sound as well. And then there's the songwriter stuff, and then there's, you know, you can see the different drummers, and then there's electronic and percussion, etc., etc. And then there's different presets for each drummer. Okay, so you can play around with the presets. Now, I'll tell you what's cool. We'll stay on half pipe, but what we'll do is we'll go like this. Have this here, quite soft, right simple, and then we'll just play that and see how it sounds. Not there. Whoa. Got a little bit of a fill, so we're going to get a bit of a fill. Now you see what it's done. It's gone back to its default setting, which was slightly louder, a little bit more complex. I think the fills probably stayed the same, yeah? So in this section, we could just take the fills up a touch more, like this. And you see, GarageBand remembers everything, and that's what's so blinking brilliant about the drummer, is it just remembers stuff. So it makes it super simple to build up great tracks for your songs, great drum tracks. Got a little bit of extra fills going on as well. Okay, so with this one we can go even more complex here. Take it up a little bit more with the fills. Yeah, let's move the hi-hat up as well. And let's see how far we've gotten. And actually, we know what's going to happen. So let's go to this section. And remember, we're still on half pipe as well. That's important to remember. You can also change presets as it goes as well. So that's even better. Right, okay. So for this last section here, I'm going to go almost up there. And then, what did I have with this one? Yeah. So I've gone a little bit further. I'll take the hats all the way up, but I'll leave these the same. Okay, and then I shall go back to my beginning bit. Let's just listen to those 16 bars. Okay, so we've got that. Now what we need to do now, don't worry, I mean, you've already got the idea, but I just want to show you another couple of bits. So we can go to our section here and let's add another section. And let's leave that section on 8 bars. And let's pretend that would be our middle 8 sort of thing, okay? I mean, obviously, you can build this up as a complete thing, okay? So we'll leave that on 8 bars, okay. And let me just see all selections for now. So here is our second our second set now, which will be, again, it'll be half pipe, and it will go back to its default. Sorry, can you hear me okay? It'll be on half pipe and it will go back to its default pattern because we've created a new section, or we haven't copied and pasted anything. Right, okay. So we don't need to see the whole thing, and if we go into our actual sequencer view, we don't need to see it all neither. We just want to be messing around with section B. Okay, and there it is. We can double tap on that again, and you can choose edit, or you can double tap on the drums and choose edit. Let's just for this, let's change the pattern. So let me just listen to it. Okay, that might be nice for the middle eight. And let's choose toms like this, and let's make them quite busy. And let's throw a tambourine in as well. And let's put our fills up and leave it on super complex. So this will be your first part of your middle eight. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is the center. Okay, so what I am gonna do actually is leave the toms on 1 for the first part. Take the fills down and leave that as it is. And then I'm gonna double tap and split again, being like this. And then this second section here, as long as your sections are selected, you can change anything you like. I'm going to put the fills on full. I'm going to bang the toms right up. I'm going to put the percussion up as well and leave it on complex. So it should get quite a bit busier for this second section here. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so in the context of the actual track now, if we go to select all sections, we can see it all. We can now see that we've got half pipe for the first 4 sections here. And bearing in mind, you could change that pattern. And then it jumps to mixtape and remembers all the other settings as well. So let's start halfway through our mix. So it should get really busy now as it goes into its middle eight sort of thing. And then you might want to add another section, copy and paste that one. So I mean, it's easy to do. So we can add section C here, and you'll see that what it will do is it will remember the previous pattern that you have had selected, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Or it'll just go back to its default drummer. The thing to remember is that you can also delete this. Now, watch, if I delete that now, we can choose this first pattern again if we want to, or any of them, double tap on it again, and then copy it. And then if we just wanted to just paste that back in now, we can do it that way. Or, sorry if I keep drifting away from the microphone, but we can do it that way as well. So we can copy and paste and delete and split. But even though we've only copied it, we can still make adjustments to the actual pattern. So if it was playing the middle 8-bit again, let's see. So this will go back to pattern 1, but with a little bit of percussion and stuff added. It's very, very cool. But the great thing is, like I said, is the actual ability to split these. You can split it at each bar if you want and have it doing crazy stuff, or you can keep it nice and simple throughout. The point is that it's such a joy to work with. And then when you're happy, of course, I would also recommend, once you've completed the track, an extra bar at the end, a bar or two at the end, to allow for any, so it doesn't loop back or cut off abruptly if there's any effect tail on it when you export the mix. It's done. Okay, I know, of course you can put a cymbal crash in or something, whatever you want to do. When it's done, like that, when it's done, you can go back to My Songs and it remembers it. Then you can rename it. And this will just export to the cloud now automatically. Or we can long hold and we can choose share. You can share the project. Not much point in sharing the project because I only want the actual wave. So you choose song. I've got it on uncompressed wave. And then choose share. And then I add it in, exported it to, where is it? Probably passed it, haven't I? Hey, go on. Share song as an uncompressed wave, share. I just want to see the options there. Yeah, I just exported it to opened it in Cubase's, and it loads it into Cubase's as audio. Then I could work in that because I like to work in Cubase. It's easier for me, Colin, to exchange Cubase's project files. It's that easy. Although we do exchange GarageBand's files as well, and that works cool because all that happens is it just sits in there in the actual shared documents bit. So I add a bit, it goes back into there. Colin adds a bit, goes back into there. So you end up with something like this, which is another track from the album that has my bits. So if I added something else now and then saved this, because it would go into the shared documents as well, as you see it's now waiting to upload. Colin opened it up in his GarageBand as well. He'd have it there as well. So that's very, very cool beans indeed. Very cool. Here we go. So it's great. It's great stuff. So there you go. The Drummer. It's lovely. It's a joy to work with. I love it. Listen, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a patron. Consider making a one-off donation if you possibly can, because we need the support of the community, you know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Yes, The Drummer. Awesome, cool beans, top job.